at the green. I'm here with Sean at the greenhouse in Waseca. Go ahead, Sean.
Okay, so when you cure these in a cool, low humidity environment, it will maintain its green color. The only difference will be is that it'll be dry, it'll be dense, and it'll be like a nice tacky stickiness to it.
Yeah.
But the color will be the same. It'll have a really potent smell to it.
Okay, so we have a greenhouse at the garden center that's 1,000 plants. How do you dry those 1,000 plants for smokables the appropriate way?
It would be to get them in a cool, dry environment that's dark, and then you'd have to probably hand prune them, and then hang them in the dark.
But you're never gonna keep them like you kept them in the refrigerator there. Is that...
No. I mean, this was just, I couldn't think of another place in here that was dry enough and cool enough that would be able to, start doing something like this.
So even like if I put them in a machine shed and had them hanging from the rafters of the machine shed and sucked air through it, would it go brown or would it stay green like that?
No, it'd brown up right away. Just because of, you'd have to have it nice and cool. You'd have to have it at least, like the top temperature would be like 65 degrees.
Okay.
And then the humidity's got to be really low. We're talking like 30-35% humidity, maybe even less if possible.
And that plant, that bud came off of that plant?
Yeah. Yep. See, this is. I just did this one just a little while ago. That's the.
Wow.
Yeah.
That one in your
Right hand
was
is
done how long ago?
2 days ago, and this one has just done a couple of hours ago. And
That's your number one smokable. If they look like that in the green, that's what's gonna
yeah. This
sell the highest.
Yeah, the nice green stuff. What will be nice is like once this starts drying a little bit more, these leaves that you see sticking out that I've like evenly cut, they're called sugar leaves. They'll drape down and they'll pull tight to the rest of the bud. So if you've ever heard of what they call Afghani hash plant? Okay, so if you look up Afghani hash plant and you look at the buds that the Afghani hash plant produces, it's amazing. It's actually a really cool looking bud, So, I don't know.
Okay, so now tell me, in the real world, in the best case scenario, how would I dry 1,000 plants at a time from really green?
1,000 plants at a time, you'd probably have to. You'd have to. To be honest, like if you could get something set up to where, like a old walk-in freezer or something like that.
Refrigeration.
Yeah. Or a reefer trailer.
I have 7 reefer trailers. You're saying the best place to dry this stuff would be
Well,
a reefer
it's got to
trailer?
be cool and it's got to be dry, and that reefer trailer provides both of those.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have 7 of them. So you're saying that we pull the reefer trucks up. We have to have them all stripped into pieces like you did there?
Okay, so
for speed, can we cut the whole plant and just start hanging the whole plant upside down?
you can, but with this particular, this is supposedly a Minnesota mother, so these are all considered sun leaves, right? So when these start to dry, they pull down tight onto the plant, once you've hung them upside down, and they're kind of a hassle to get off. You have to peel them off one at a time. If you take them off before they dry and they do that, then it's a lot easier, because then the worst case scenario you have to do is you do a little trim cutting on the bud itself just to get its shape, and then you're just good to go.
So tell me, if I cut that into pieces and put it in the trailer, do I have to hang them or will they lay on top of each other?
I wouldn't lay that stuff on top of each other. It's going to compress it too much. All you have to do is basically take it and basically go to any where two stems meet or whatever. You can either do like a cut like that to where it creates its own hanger, or even if you have something like this to where I just cut off, you just cut it a little bit down below that, and then you still have a hanger,
Yep.
And that's all you need to do is just hang them. And they only have to stay on the stock on the stem for probably 3-4 days. And you have to really pay attention to it, because what you're waiting for is to start to get that fine smell of almost like a straw or like a hay. And as soon as you smell that, you got to get them off the stick immediately. Because once that happens, that's your sign that it's like the stem is basically empty of what it needs to be in the buds. And then it's got what it needs. Now you just need to trim the buds off. Then you want to lay them out still in the dry, cool place, and then just let them sit there and cure for another probably 6-7 days. And then you'll run over your 10-day period. But at the end of those 10 days, you're gonna have buds that are nice, dense. They'll be tacky. They'll be firm, and they'll be green. Is the big piece. It's that's what you really want, because that's what people are attracted to, is the green buds. Nobody wants a brown bud, and they definitely don't want one that smells like hay or straw.
So all told, from the time you cut that plant to the time it's through the reefer and out of the reefer is about 10 days.
Yeah, 10 to 12 days, just depending on how. I mean, 'cause the moisture content of them are going to be different. So, and I mean, I've never worked with these strands, so going by what I mean, these, I mean, if this plant was never stressed, I know for a fact this would probably be twice, if not 3 times the size this cola would be. It'd be way dense. And the only reason that it finished as soon as it did is because of the stress that they're under. You know,
So the plants that we just harvested at the CBD center went off 22% CBD.
did they really?
The same variety as this. Yeah.
Are you serious?
No, I'm serious.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is way awesome.
No, but they're dragging them out in a barn right now.
Oh, that's probably not a good idea. That's probably
Well,
not.
there's 2 reefer trucks sitting up at the site where this stuff is, so
Yeah.
this is it.
So are they like pulling this out mechanically, or are they doing it manually by hand, or how are they pulling?
What's that?
How are they pulling the plants, or how are they harvesting the plants?
They were the show plants at the inside the
Okay, all right. So they
CBD
just-
center.
yes.
So they cut all the, just like what
Okay.
you did, they cut all that stuff off.
All right.
So when they killed it, they cut it off immediately. You're saying you cut it off, hang it upside down. When do you take the leaves off again, the big leaves?
I would do it the day that you hang them upside down. I'd always take if you have a way of, there should be a way to take the leaves off, the sun leaves off before that's quick. I don't know what it is yet. I've seen, they have these things that are called auto trimmers.
Yeah.
You've seen those, right?
No.
Okay, so I've seen people use the auto trimmers on the sun leaves, and it helps them. I mean, it speeds it up, but then you always have the sticks that are, at the end. I suppose a person, if they're experienced enough, they can go through it as, once the bud's dry, you can go through and you can just basically like brush the edges of them without damaging the trichomes too much and knock a bunch of those sticks out at the same time as you're doing that, pulling them out, as you're cleaning them up, doing that final clean before you bag them.
So 1,000 plants were probably nuts.
No,
1,000's not too bad.
No. 1,000 plants is just gonna. I mean, if you have the manpower, it's gonna. I mean, if you have the manpower, it's not gonna take that long at all. If you leave it up to one person, it's gonna take them a long time. I mean, so it's all about the manpower when it comes to processing these. Do you have like a time frame that you're trying to
No, we're checking the CBD
content
every day, and
Okay.
the prediction is about 2 weeks from now. So if you
Okay.
have any friends in the Twin Cities, want to come down and work in the reefers.
Yeah, I know a bunch of people that would be willing to help come down and help do that.
Cool.